just can't quite put my finger on it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Noah Jones. Yo, middle finger to them hating niggas. They don't show us love, they replacing niggas. And I don't give a fuck about your comments, cause all around the world they embrace a nigga. I was born with a hole in my heart, should've died. And by the age of 2, they said I wouldn't survive. And ever since then, been fighting some crazy odds. It doesn't make it true what they said, them niggas lied. Every single day's a gift, so I strive, transition from the kitchen to work in another.
What's good, people? You're tuned into Big Condo Radio. I am Royzy Rothschild. This is the Shakedown International. We've been interviewing people all week. We had Young Deuces from Milwaukee. We had Usher and Kaiser from France and Martinique. I think it's pronounced that way anyway. And I've got my boy now. He goes by the name of Noah Jones from San Diego, United States of America. I think it's like 2 p.m. there. Right now it's 10 p.m. here. I've been an admirer of this man for a while. He's one of the most hard-working hip-hop artists that I know. So his name's Noah Jones. So introduce yourself, brother. Why are you called Noah Jones?
What's going on? What's going on? That is actually my birth name. Before we jump into it, a little brief. I was born in New York City, and then I moved to California when I was 22, and I lived in Orange County, California. And now, as of last year, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm broadcasting live from Phoenix, Arizona.
Decent, good stuff. So, well, you're moving around a lot there. Well, what was so bad with New York?
My thing is, in New York, I was another New York rapper, but in California, I was a New York rapper in California. So that added a little something different, a little more mystique to what I was doing, because I wanted to stand out. And I feel like the more you travel and the more places you frequent and you get involved in, if you do it right, you can add little elements of those type of lifestyles to what you bring to the table, and that can help you creativity. It can help your creativity a lot. So.
Well, this question,
I chase opportunity. That's another thing. I chase opportunity. If there's an opportunity in another place to do something bigger than where I'm at, I'm gonna drop everything and go. You know what I mean? I don't want to live inside.
What's the difference? What's the difference between the New York rap game and the California rap game?
Well, I mean, it's changed so much in so many years. But when I first went to California, there weren't a whole lot of lyricists out there. Now it's changed. Now there's a lot of artists out there. There's always Crooked Eye. There's Kendrick Lamar, of course, J-Rock. You also have Locksmith that's out there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, Razzcast and, people on the West Coast originally, they weren't really following the lyricist game. It was more about just the vibe and just their particular sound. They had a real regional sound. They don't have a regional sound anymore. You can't listen to an artist and say, oh, he's from LA or oh, he's from wherever, because everybody has their own unique sound now. So. Yeah.
Well, what about Snoop Dogg? Do you rate Snoop Dogg as a lyricist, or is he just a rapper?
I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I believe he's a great song maker. He makes some great songs.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that, in my opinion, go into the term lyricism. There's flow patterns. There's subject matter. There's delivery. You know what I mean? There's how many intricate ways you can put words together.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of little things. Like you can be a lyricist and not be an MC, or you can be an MC and not be a lyricist. So there's a lot of little things. It breaks down into so many things, but if we spend more time focusing on that and not focus on the fact that people make good music, stuff gets lost in translation. I think we need to shift the focus from what type of artist does what, and do they make good music or not. If they make good music, that's really all that matters. It doesn't matter if they're a technical rapper, Dr. Seuss rapper, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? As long as the music is good, that's really all that matters.
So, because for me, not many, people rate him, but I think he's heavily underrated. Like, Royce the 5'9".
Oh, he's super nice. He's top tier lyricism, top tier.
Yeah, but
and what's crazy is there's a lot of top tier lyricists that focus so much on the intricate part of the rapping that they can't get a handle on the hooks, picking the type of beats that move the. It's like, You know what I mean? It's like great lyricists usually aren't great song makers. You'll play something and you'll be like, yo, that joint was so hot. But after you listen to it once or twice, you don't listen to it again. You know what I mean? The replay value isn't there. I'm not saying for Royce, but for a lot of technical rappers, that's really what happens. You hear one of their songs, you're wowed the very first time you hit a flow pattern. And then after that, you're like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Then you move on to something else. You move on to whatever vibe makes the party go, or whatever you're feeling at that time of your life.
I totally feel you, mate. I'm one for lyrics, but also you've got to pick your songs as well. You know what I mean? These are like these songs that I like that they're not really lyrical. You know what I mean? It's just good beats and some good bars, and you like it. But these other songs as well. But let's talk a little bit about Killing Time. It's the new release, brand new from yourself. It's on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, all that type of thing. Let's go into that. Why is it called Killing Time?
The reason why it's Killing Time, it's basically three reasons behind the name Killing Time. One, I came up with Killing Time because I really wanted to prepare my audience for something afterwards. So what do you do in the meantime? You kill time. You know what I mean? So in the meantime, while you're waiting for whatever else I got, while you're killing time, I'm going to give you something to listen to. So you have that aspect of what killing time means. Then you also have killing time as in people think that the older you get as far as being an artist, the less relevant you become. So I'm talking about killing time aspect of saying, yo, you're too old for doing this music thing. So it's all about killing off that time stereotype. And then also the third version of killing time, the third version is, yo, when you going in, it's killing time. You know what I'm saying? So when you drop something fire, like, yo, you killed that record, yo, it's killing time. So that's what it's all about. It stands for three different things.
Speaking on records, what are your favorite records off the joint? What are the ones that if for people who don't know Noah Jones and have not heard any stuff, what would you suggest the first record to go listen to on the album?
That's it's hard to say that because I put so many different types of joints on there. The first song, For the Millions, is really political. It talks about how how the presidents are trying to get the black people to vote, so they're trying to cater to the black people, but really don't want to give them what they're asking for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a very political song. So if you're into the political joints, For the Millions is your thing. If you're into the party aspect, Cash App is a joint for the party, for the clubs. If you're into,
have you got a song called Cash App, have you?
Yeah. So if you're into what I call like the bounce, which is like the bop kind of records, kind of like what the Baby does. I call that like the bounce or the bop. I got a record like that called called Potential. Then I got an R&B joint on there for the ladies. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what you really want. That's one thing that I wanted to do with this album. I put something on there for everybody. There's some lyrical stuff, some hip hop stuff, some real personal stuff about my life. There's some motivational things on there talking about my lifestyle and how I'm living and some of the things that I hope to achieve. It's like speaking things into existence, that whole, the laws of attraction. So there's a lot of things like that on there. There's definitely something on there for everybody. And that's what I wanted to do with this project. It was like, what didn't I do on my other albums? I didn't incorporate the song For the Ladies, or I didn't incorporate the club banger, so I have something crazy to perform. You know what I mean? But all this was strategized before we got put on lockdown. So now it's kind of like, who knows what's going to happen? I can't even perform the record.
Is there any features on it?
Yes, there's a couple of features on there. You got an artist from New Jersey by the name of True Words. He's a really dope artist. Me and him have been working a lot in the past couple of years. You got a guy named Brandon Cherry, who's one of the R&B singers, and then there's another R&B singer named Oscar D. And they're all doing big things. They're all extremely talented. I only got one rap feature and 2 R&B features. Usually I don't feature any rappers on my project. I'll feature on anybody else's stuff, but I don't like to have people on my projects like that. So the fact that I even put True Words on there, it's a big step. Even my nephew, who's listened to all 13 of my albums, he's like, yo, wait a minute, you don't never put nobody on your album. This guy gotta be dope if he's on your album. And I'm like, yeah, he's dope.
I feel like that. When you put on, it's like you can collab for the sake of collabing, or you can
Right.
pick an artist that fits what you're trying to do. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Not everyone's going to fit the sound or the project that you're trying
Right.
to do. You know what I mean?
And it's
So there's a
personal.
lot of
When it's
collaboration there.
your album,
But
it's
what was
personal.
yeah, and the lyrics are personal as well. So it
Yeah,
needs to
right.
fit.
And it's like, you know, when
You know
it's
what I
your
mean?
story, like there's some artists out there that they can't carry their own project, so they need a whole bunch of features. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm already halfway done with Killing Time 2. You know what I mean? So, and this album
Yeah,
just
yeah.
dropped, so I'm already like, I'm 8 songs done with the next project. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, me, I wanted to tell my own story, and I don't need a whole bunch of other people involved in it to tell my story. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. It makes sense. Normally when I collab, it's always with singers.
yeah. Oh, yeah. They're
These
hard to
are
come by. They're hard to
yeah,
come by because it's hard to find good singers.
yeah. It's always singers on the chorus, and then I do the bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's go over Mr. 200, because I thought that was this was a couple of years ago. I think this was 2018, 2019.
Actually, this was almost 5 years old. The 200 collab quest I did almost 5 years ago.
Seriously, where have I been?
Yeah, it's been 5 years. But what's
5
crazy
years?
is,
Oh my God, 5 years ago.
well, time flies, and that's the thing. Like when you're having fun with, like, you're an artist, you're a creator. Time goes by so fast because you're on to the next idea all the time. So, you know, as an artist, we lose track of time as far as things. But yeah, it was the original idea was, how can I utilize my crazy writing work ethic to do something that nobody else has ever done? You know what I mean? So what I wanted to do was, I said, all right, well, how can I bring people from all over the world together and have one big shared experience where we all are joining in doing the same thing? So I said, all right, let me try a couple of things. I tried Ustream, I tried a couple other things, and they didn't work. So what happened was Facebook finally opened up their pilot program to do live streaming. And because I had a verified account, I was one of the first artists to be able to utilize that and go live because I was verified. So I said, well, look, let me just use the Facebook platform because people on Facebook are nosy anyway. So I'm pretty sure they'll just tune in because they'll randomly stumble upon it. Everybody on Facebook is living vicariously through somebody else. So I was like, all right, well, let me try it out. And I was like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come up with an idea, bring everybody together, have everybody just submit a whole bunch of records. And I'll just, every night, I'll just pick something new and I'll record it live. I'll mix the vocals live. I'll do everything in front of a live audience. And I was like, that's something that no artists do, because a lot of artists, they have help with their recording process. There's people behind the scenes that are penning their work, writing their rhymes, giving them ideas. So I'm like, when was the last time we seen an artist work on something from scratch, right in front of their face, and actually talk to the audience at the same time? I was like, it never has happened. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, let me be the first one to do it. And then what I did was I said, all right, well, we'll do 200 records in less than a year, and we'll try to shoot for a Guinness World Records as far as it. So that's exactly what I did. I said,
where did the idea of 200 come from, though? Like, why did you say 200 instead of like 50? Why 200?
Because 200 seems so ridiculous, which is why I wanted to do it. You know, if you say 50 joints, you know, you have people like Crooked Eye that did like the Hip Hop Weekly. He did, you know, 52 records in 52 weeks. That's once a week, one song a week. To me, not to take nothing away from him because he's an amazing MC, but to me that's too easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do that easily. I was like, the hard part would be doing 200 songs and try to do as many of them in a row as I can while you're fighting off sickness. Because remember, at that time, I think I did 157 in a row without missing a day. So that's 157 days of new music where you're doing it in front of a live audience, where, you know, I had to fight through being sick. I had to fight through my wedding, like my wedding day. I was in the studio working on the collabs. You know,
that's heavy, bro. On your wedding day, you was in the studio.
And my wife still to this day, she's very supportive. And you know, she told me, she was like, yo, you got an audience, you got a fan base that wants to hear you do your thing. She's like, I'm with you for life. So she said, go ahead and, you know, and do what you do. She's like, get out there and show these people. So, you know, my birthdays, anniversaries, all of that, I was record Christmas, holidays. I didn't take any days off for the first 157 days. And then what happened was I took a day off because I wrote a song, and it was about my mother, and it got me real emotional. And I hadn't seen my mom in like 4 years, so I was real emotional that I decided to just catch a flight back to New York to spend time with my mother. So I stopped the collab quest for a couple of weeks just to do that. And then when I came back, I pretty much wrapped it up and did the rest of it. You know what I mean? But just think about the idea of doing 200 records with artists and producers from all over the world that don't know each other, you know, and they're just sending me beats. And I wasn't like saying, oh, this is a hot beat, I'm gonna use this. I used whatever they sent. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be times that I wasn't feeling the beats whatsoever. And I made that shit turn, and I made it turn out hot because my drive and how I really was pushing the line as far as the music. So, you know, there's a lot of complications that go along with that, and getting people to send you the music on time. And I didn't hear none of the music until I loaded it up in front of the live audience. So I opened up the Pro Tools session, I imported the audio, and I listened to it for the first time the same time as the audience did. You know what I mean? So there was no preparation going into it whatsoever. So it was, you know, it was completely on the fly. And at that point in time, nobody has ever done that. But look at it now that we're in quarantine, everybody's trying to go live, everybody's trying to do their hip-hop battles and all of that. So if you really give credit where credit is due, I pioneered that whole thing that people just really don't realize. And if you go on Facebook and you type in Noah Jones collab 45, it'll pop up on the Facebook feed. It's there. I made it all public, so it's there.
No, mate, what you've done is legendary in
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
And music as well, you know what I mean? Never heard of anyone doing it other than yourself, so it is unique. Just the 200, what you've done, but also going live and the way you've done it as well. So obviously, big well done on that accomplishment, mate. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. It was very challenging, man. It was challenging. I'm not gonna say it was easy. The hardest part about it is getting people to send the music when they're supposed to. And the reason I never really addressed this, so I'm gonna give you an exclusive right now. But the reason why we never made it into the Guinness Book of World Records is when I sent the music back to the original artist that sent it to me, they never finished their parts of the song. So because they never finished it, we never had complete versions to submit to Guinness to say, look, here's 200 records that we did in this short amount of time. So because other people didn't get their stuff done, it botched the whole opportunity for everybody to be in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Heavy. Well, I had an opportunity to go in the Guinness Book of Records. I did, I think it was 1,800 lyrics in under 5 minutes.
Holy moly. Congratulations.
And they wanted £200 to feature in the Guinness Book of Records, and I said, nah, it's all right, I'll keep the money.
Well, congratulations, brother.
But I'll keep the money, wasting £200, you know what I mean? Let's move on. You worked with Dr. Dre. He's one of the legendary producers on the planet, you know what I mean?
Right.
What was that like?
First and foremost, I got to give a big shout out to Nocturnal, because he is the person that arranged all of that. So it was on the record, it's me, Nocturnal did the hook, and Bishop Lamont also did a verse on there, who was signed to Dr. Dre at the time. So what happened was, you know, I wasn't privy to all of the conversation that Nocturnal had with Dre, but I had been working with Nocturnal since 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. I had done songs with him since then. So what happened was, you know, he basically created the opportunity, and that's how it went down. You know what I mean? Like it was all done all through Nocturnal. You know, so shout out to him for putting me in position to get it all done. And you know, just an amazing experience, man. It's an amazing experience. Certain things, like there's certain things in life that just can't be duplicated. Like me doing a record with Nipsey Hussle. Like you can't duplicate that, because rest in peace, he's no longer here anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
So I was blessed to be fortunate enough to have an opportunity to work with him, whether it was a long time ago or not. Like some people say, yeah, but you did that record with Nipsey a long time ago. I was one of the people that believed in his talent a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was one of the day ones who was like, yo, you buzzing at the same time I'm buzzing. You know, we both was making noise on the West Coast. So it was only right that we linked up. I had already did a record with J-Rock. I had did a record with Glasses Malone, who's also was popping on the West Coast at the time from Watts. and they were all affiliated with each other. So it was only right that I ended up, you know, inserting myself in the same environment and the same atmosphere. And I'm just happy that, you know, me being from New York, that they showed me love like that, because, you know, for a lot of times in the industry, if you're not from that certain area, a lot of times people don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? They kind of alienate you because they feel like, yo, you're not one of them. But real recognize real, and they, you know, and I was able to get everything done. So.
Well, what you call it? I seen the WC jamming to you did a mix. It was a couple of years ago.
Yes, he and I did a record. DJ Money J is the one that got that done. See, one thing people don't understand about the industry, the smart people understand, but one thing people don't understand is create great relationships with people. That's a really like, if you create great relationships with people, a lot of doors will open up for you. So what happened was Money J had an opportunity to do the record with Dub C, and because he and I are such good friends, he called me up and was like, yo, you know, I'm about to do this joint with Dub C for my mixtape. Do you want to do the record? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll do the record. So what he did was he reached out to Dub C and said, yo, I got this artist by the name of Noah Jones. He's going to jump on the song. And Dub C was like, well, let me hear some of his shit first before you just put some random person on the record with me. You know what I mean? So I reached out to Dub C. I let him hear some of my stuff personally. And then what happened was between Money J and him and me, we did the record called Respect the West. You know what I mean? And how crazy, he actually played it on his radio show. And his radio show.
The bars sound fire though. The actual bars are fire though. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. And yo, DJ Vlad from Vlad TV was actually on the show at the time. So you know, there's video footage of DJ Vlad bobbing his head to the record or whatever. So, you know, just knowing that your music is around people like that have such a big platform, it's an amazing situation because you never know who's listening, man. You never know. You never know. And that's why when I create music, I try to create it for people that, you know, that you never expect that be listening. Like I have a lot of closet fans, which are people that listen to my music but really don't share it and really don't promote it. They want to keep all the experience to themselves. You know what I mean? And it's like they feel a personal connection with it to where they don't want to let nobody else hear the music. You know what I mean? They kind of want to just keep it to themselves and say, yo, I discovered this. This fits my lifestyle. This is what I'm jamming to.
No, it does. It can get like that. There's people out there who listen to you and don't want to tell anyone that they found a gem. You know what I mean?
Right. They want to be exclusive. They feel like they found something that nobody else is into before everybody else. So they want to hold on to it and say, yo, I've been here since day one. You know what I mean? But it hurts the artists in a long time because we can't make that transition to the bigger level that we're trying to make it to. Now, realistically, all you really need is 1,000 true diehard fans that'll support your music, and you can live good off 1,000 fans. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ryan Leslie. He proved that. All you really need is like 1,000 dieharded fans that are willing to buy your music, and you can live good for the rest of your life off that. So sometimes it could be a good thing.
Ryan Leslie, the artist who uses his mobile phone as the
superphone?
The superphone. I'm on to him. I think I've watched a couple of interviews where he was talking about how he uses his phone and whatever. But
what it is he's controlling the data, and data is key. Data is information. Like, for example, if you're running any kind of promo, you know, you want to know exactly who's listening to your stuff, and you want to be able to control that and figure out if it's working or if it's not working. So if you're paying these companies for ad revenue, like to promote your music, you should get a detailed spreadsheet of where they're putting your music. So that way you say, okay, well, it's not working in this particular region or this demographic. Let me switch it to a different area. You know what I mean? So it's like little things like that. But he perfected that. He's able to tell who bought the music, who paid for the tickets. He has all that information. And that's why Google and Facebook are so important, because they're all linked together. So it's say you look up something on Google, now all of a sudden it pops up on your Facebook feed. That's the control of the information. You know what I mean? So having that info and knowing your people's spending habits, it's important. You know what I mean? It's very important. So if you could dial into that info, you can deal with, even just having a small fan base, you can deal just directly with them fans and get your music out there and keep being successful. Because like I look on people's Spotify's, you know, and they'll have 15,000 listeners, all this other stuff, but yet they only have, you know, like 6,000 plays. You know what I mean? Whereas my new album in 12 days has like 54,000 streams, and I only have like 450 listeners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not a huge amount of listeners. It's just core people that really love the shit that just keep playing the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's what you want, isn't it? It's pointless having people just coming in, having a listen and disappearing.
Right.
You want them to keep coming back. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
But let's go into this Noah Jones and the League of Villains. This this mixtape that you've got going on. So I seen this. I was interested in it, but I've got nothing to send over at this moment in time. You know what I mean?
Gotta be prepared, man. That's the main thing. Being prepared, because you never know. See, one thing about me, man, is I like to make myself available, and I like to do things for other artists. Like I honestly feel, even though it doesn't work, I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't work. But I just have this thing where it's like a philanthropist type of thing, where I feel like there's so much room in the industry for everybody, and I feel like we're stronger as a community than just as one person by themselves. You know, like me personally, I could just keep releasing records all day and just make my streaming money on my own. But there's no fulfillment in that. There's no fulfillment in that. When I grew up, it was all about who could you bring under your wing? Who could you put on? Who could you live on through by helping somebody else reach what they need to reach? You know what I mean? And that's an aspect of music that we don't really have right now. You have artists even like Nas that been in the game for forever, but he hasn't put any artists on to help, you know, further the agenda of the culture. You know what I mean?
Well, he put Dave East on.
Yeah, but look how long. I mean, did he put Dave East on, or did Dave East put Dave East on?
No, he put Dave East on.
Did he snatch up Dave East when Dave East had no buzz, or was Dave East already buzzing and just signed to Nas? That's what you need to really ask.
Dave East had a buzz before.
So then Dave East put himself. If he already had a buzz, then he put himself on. He just got the Nas cosign. You know what I'm saying? Which is still fine. Whatever it takes for you to get to where you need to get to. You know what I mean? But ultimately, as far as me, I like to help other artists. I give artists advice. I point them in the right direction. People that don't know what they need to do as far as how do I record music, I say, look, why don't you go, instead of sitting there doing nothing, spend $300 and get your own studio in the crib, and then you can record as much music as you want. So as far as the League of Villains, that's basically what it is. What I want to do is I want to be the location that people go to discover all the new hot music. That's my goal behind that. I want people to say, yo, when I'm looking for something new that I've never heard, I want to go check out the League of Villains tape, because I'm going to find some artists on there that I've never heard of that are going to be fire. And that's what I want to do. I want to release tapes every month of all artists. I'm going to put a song on there myself, or maybe 2 songs of my own. And then, you know, but it's strictly about the artist. And I'm not doing it for profit. I'm paying for the promo. I'm paying for the artwork. I'm not making any of the artists come out of pocket for anything. They're going to get 75% of the royalties of every song.
Sick.
Huh?
The artwork is sick.
Oh, thank you.
The artwork is sick.
Thank you.
Really good.
Yeah, I I said, the artwork was expensive, but I believe in paying for quality. You know what I mean? That, like, it's kind of like.
What's your email? What's your email? Because in Liverpool, there's loads of Scouse rappers that tune in and watch this show, and in Manchester and stuff like that. So you might get some new up and coming rappers that might want to send you some stuff. So what's your email? What email should they send it to?
They can send it to noahjones714@gmail.com. That's Noah, NOAHJONES714@gmail.com. So that's the main premise. What I want to do is, like, I always dream big. Like, I think big as far as everything. Like, I look at it like, okay, we're gonna do the League of Villains tapes, and after a couple of months, we're gonna switch it up and do the League of Heroes. And then we're gonna have some artists representing for the heroes, and then we're gonna go back and forth and say, okay, who got the hotter tapes? Is it the villains who got the hotter tapes, or is it the heroes that got the hotter tapes? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's something that I want to do to give people pride in what they're doing, so they can say, yo, I'm on the hero side, or I'm on the villain side, and I got my badge for being one of the villains, or yada yada yada, and make it a real big thing. So it's more than just me putting out putting out a tape. I really want people to get involved. And this process, like I said, I know from the 200 collab quest, a lot of artists aren't ready. You know what I mean? And I don't mean ready as far as talent wise. I mean, they just don't have anything sitting on the side that they haven't released. You know what I mean? And I'm doing quality control on the records. Like, I have friends of mine that sent me records, and to be honest, it's not going on the tape because to me, it's not the level of quality that I'm looking for. It's got to be hot. It's got to be hot because
you've got to have quality control, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Because I want people to hear it and say, yo, this is hot. I can't wait for the next one. You know what I mean? But if you're putting out subpar music, people are going to throw it in the trash bin with everything else and say, oh, it's nothing. It's not really worth my time. I didn't really learn anything. You know what I mean? So it's really just to discover new artists. I'm doing it because I want to be like back in the day, you had the mixtapes where, you know, you go to the mixtapes to hear all the up and coming talent. You know what I mean? So I want to be that, but the digital version, to where people come and say, okay, the League of Villains got all the hot artists. I can look for the artists on their Spotify. I can go check out their catalogs, contribute to their streams, support the artists. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about.
Mate, I love your creativity. You are like it's abundance of ideas and creativity just flow. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, man.
I think it's amazing. So let's go into Private Road. So obviously you've got your own clothing line as well. That's called Private Road. I think you set that up about 2 years ago, was it? Or
no, actually, it was just created November 2019. So the company went official in August of 2019, and then I launched the website in November. So it's a fairly new company. Basically what it is it really is about exclusivity. That's hence the term Private Road. It's like, you know, everybody has their own road that they have to travel in life. You know what I mean? And your private road takes you wherever your private road takes you. And that's what I wanted to establish as far as a company. I wanted to put something together where, like, for the people that wanted high price items, the luxury lifestyle, et cetera, and they wanted to look good while they're chasing their own dream, while they're on their own private road to success. You know what I mean? And that was something that I came up with. I sat down, I spent about 4 months doing the research on it. Came up with the ideas for the design, for the name. I branded it, got the tax ID, put the company in motion, and it's doing pretty well. And I'm really excited about it because, you know, hip hop, clothing, everything all ties together. You know what I mean? And that's why in my album, like, I speak about Private Road a lot on my album, because I want people to understand that this is an official thing, and that, you know, I want it to be as huge as it can be. And it's not every day that, you know, somebody can have their own company and their own business. You know what I mean? So it's just exciting.
It's quite unique. I've got my clothing line. It's got condo.
I like it. You got the Illuminati eye. I like it.
Condo wear. It's called.
I like it. I like it.
It's like that. We got the cap as well.
All the time.
Set that up about 2 years ago. Yes, it's got the snapback on. You've got to be the main promoter of your brand, haven't you?
Of course.
You got to plug that.
Yeah, you got to stand behind it. And you know what's funny is it's always going to be tough because we're in a day and age now where people don't want to be the first ones to do anything. They want to wait until everything is already established, and that's why there is such a huge gap in people that people consider real, or people that they consider bandwagon, or whatever the case may be. It's like you have the opportunity to get in on something from the ground up. It's completely up to you to take an advantage of that or not. But a lot of people, they won't support it because they'll say, I don't see a whole lot of people wearing it. Even if it's fly, even if it's great quality, even if it looks good, people don't want to be the standout. They want to be the fit in. They want to fit in. They don't want to stand out. Me, I've always been trying to stand out. I've always been trying to be different. That's why when we all started, like I don't make the kind of music that everybody else is making. When everybody started making trap music, I never made trap music. You know what I mean? If you listen to my lyrics, you know, I don't rap about guns. I don't rap about shooting and killing people. I don't rap about none of that stuff. And I've been able to carry 13 albums without touching on those subjects like that. Because that's easy to do. You know what I mean? It's easy to revert to your primal instinct and just go crazy and shoot people and act crazy and act ignorant. It's real easy to do that. But to entertain people without following the stereotypes, that's a challenging thing. And that's, you know, that's for the true writers and the true artists out there.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying. I totally agree with it. Really do. I've got that. Everything that you've said so far it's all basically everything that I believe. You know what I mean?
And we vibrate on the same frequency, brother. We vibrate on the same frequency.
We do, lad. We do. It's weird. Right, I've got the main office. Blakey over the main office is messaging me, telling me I've gone 5 minutes over. Is there anything that you want to get out there to obviously the listeners before we come to the end of the interview? Is there anything at all?
Sure. For one, stream that Killing Time on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. Is free. It's great music. It's quality. Make sure you follow me so that way you can be up to date with all the new stuff that I'm dropping, because like I said, I'm working on a sequel and there's a lot of things I got in the mix. I have my hands in so many different things, and I'm always willing to create opportunities for the people that are willing to work hard. And just for the people that are listening, man, never give up your dreams. Because at one point in time, I was the unpopular kid. I was the person that people counted out. I was the person that people always made fun of, and a lot of, like, you know, as a youth growing up. And now those same people that used to are nowhere in life. So I call it, I'm getting my revenge right now, because now I'm the popular guy. You know what I'm saying? So never give up. Bro. Use that fuel and turn it into something that you can turn a profit on. You know what I mean? Use that negative energy and turn it into something positive, and never let anybody stop you from doing what you need to do, man. And just focus and do what's right for you and your family.
Okay. So what we're going to do now as well, we're going to plug a little snippet of one of the songs off the album Killing Time. What song do you want us to plug?
Man, that's a tough one. Let me think. How about you just do the title track, Killing Time? Just do Killing Time. That'd be a good one.
Go on then. Okay. So I've been Royzy Rothschild. This is Big Hondo Radio. This is Liverpool City. This is my guy, Noah Jones. Yes. And you've been tuned into the Shakedown on Big Hondo Radio. Bless up. And this is the title track, Killing Time. Peace out.
Peace.
West Coast Production.
Yo, alpaca on the carpet, got expensive taste. Bitches want me to save them, but I ain't got a cape. Ever since I was young, my feelings have been misplaced, concealing my villain traits. I'm chilling and feeling great. Multicolored drapes, mountains on the skyline. All these hating niggas yapping on my timeline. Create a clothing line, these niggas copy. Okay, Kimosabi, it's obvious you watch me. Private roads as clean as Oxy. Mere mortals, I feel for you. The type to diss a chick and she still adore you. Conspiracy 10 for you. Niggas that's been loyal, seated in thin soil. You niggas is lukewarm, but I've been boiled. Niggas finally catching on to my marathon. Expensive things, Lord of Rings, like I'm Aragon. Like the block of Billie Jean, whatever path I'm on. Noah Jones, Prince of Thieves, like a vagabond. Let me grab a glass of wine while I'm killing time. While I'm watching, never mind, I'm just killing time. Put my feet up and recline like I'm killing time. Pass the paper and the pen, cause it's killing time. Let me grab a glass of wine while I'm killing time. While I'm watching, never mind, I'm just killing time. Put my feet up and recline like I'm killing time. Pass the paper and the pen, cause it's killing time. I recorded with legends that never said a thing, cause my progression was making sessions unsettling. Nevertheless, it was destiny manifest, but festering thoughts of pedigree, but niggas still meddling. In my affairs, I am aware, but won't shit shovel. Shit is getting out of line like when kids color. Hear no evil, speak no evil like when lips covered. Tantrum rappers that complain and make they fits public. They don't want it, they don't wanna make this thing an issue. I'm just getting to the point like I willed against you. Hate assault, dig dirt, using shit against you. And I never get the credit for the things I've been through. I inspire the masses like a messiah. My passion requires me to spit acid within saliva. Rapping a type of verse to get graphic and change your life up. Living precision and I'm so driven without a driver. Let me grab a glass of wine while I'm killing time. While I'm watching, never mind, I'm just killing time. Put my feet up and recline like I'm killing time. Pass the paper and the pen, cause it's killing time. Let me grab a glass of wine while I'm killing time. While I'm watching, never mind, I'm just killing time. Put my feet up and recline like I'm killing time. Pass the paper and the pen, cause it's killing time.